Welcome back. So in the last couple of videos in Unit 4, we've seen this introduction to GUIs. We've looked at event-driven programming, which means you interact with some interface and you write a piece of code that works when that interaction is complete. Then it's time to look at some examples, some very quick examples: adder program and factorial programs. So these are programs that you've written before in Python. You've also written these programs in C#, so it should be very straightforward. Just that your input now is not going to be coming from system.in. System.in means command prompt. When you say something like console.readline, so it's not going to be coming from the console. It's going to be coming from a text box or maybe a drop down or something like that. You always have to decide which is best for you at every time. So let's get started. I have this app that I was playing around with you guys with in the last videos, but I'm going to just create another separate app so that yes. Perfect. So I'm going to go to create new project. Then you know the drill. I'm going to go to Windows app.NET Framework, and I'll pick C#, Windows Desktop. I'll scroll through here to find the appropriate one. Windows Forms Application.NET Framework. There we go. So next, I'll call this app Other Program. As we may like to call it, app. So latest.NET Framework, that's fine. Create. Fantastic. So we're up and running, guys. So let's look at this quickly. So the other program is supposed to read two numbers and add the two numbers together. So how do we begin? This is my form. It's clear. So I would like to design it. And because I cannot see the two box, it's just safe to go to view and look for two box there. Two box. There we go. And it appears. I pin it down. Yeah, I pin it down here. Then I can collapse this and go to standard all forms. Then I find a lot of controls. And if it's an adder program, I may want to put like a label to say this app is an adder program. So I'll put a label first. I'll drag the label here. I'll go to the property window. I'm going to be moving faster because you guys know the drill. Right. I don't need to use this label in programming, so I don't have to change the name. However, the text property which appears on the label, I can change that to adder app. If it's the name of the app, I would like it to be bigger. So I'll go to font. I'll change that to something like 22. It's too small. 45. Yeah, that's more like it. Bold, yes. Then I'll put it in the center of the form so it looks nice. Then the program is supposed to take two numbers and return the sum of the two numbers. All right. So I'll put a label here. Then I'll put something like enter first number. Enter first number. This serves like a prompt in our usual console app, but here because it's not console, I want to change the font to something like 18. Good. Then I can copy and paste this one and change the label to second. All right. If you would like to copy and paste the way I just did, just press Control and drag the item. So Control and you drag, it's copy and paste for you. But if you are not comfortable with that, then you can right click and click copy, then right click again and say paste. All right. Each other way works. So I want to justify this so that it looks neat. I can expand my form if I need more space. I'm going to go to the text box now where the user is going to actually enter the values. I'm going to drag a text box here. I'm also going to change the font of the text box to be a little bit bigger, maybe 18. And this text box, I would need to write programs that check what is in it, so that whatever is in the first text box could be added to whatever is in the second text box. Because of that, I would have to name them. However, because if I don't name them, then I may not remember which one is text box 1, text box 2, text box 5. I may not know what's going on, so it's nice to name them. And the naming nomenclature, like I told you the last time, or the pattern for naming, if the text box should go txt, I'll just call this txt first. All right. Someone else can say txt first number. That's also fine. Then I'm going to just copy and paste this guy because I've formatted that one. I call this txt second. All right. So I have first and second. When the user, so you can think of it in terms of scenarios. When the user is done entering first number, second number, they want to calculate the sum. So they probably want to click a button to do that. And don't forget that is always a command button or a button, simply call it button. Put a button here. I also changed the text on top of the button. I can call it add. Someone else can call it sum. Someone else can call it add now, whatever it is. That's where your creativity comes to play. A button, btn, I'll call it add, btn add. And I need to change the font also so that it looks a little bit bigger. I'll change this to 22. And that's it. And if I think that the button is not showing well, I can change the back color to something that stands out. Something like this. Let's look. Something like that. That looks horrible. Let me pick something nice. Military green or something. Okay, that's better. All right. Then I can put my ad here, depending on your design sense. Some people want to put their ad here. Some people want to put it in the corner here. Again, be creative. Nobody can actually teach you this thing. Whatever looks good to you looks good. When the real world, what's it called? Our customers and users, they know what is good. So your app better be looking good. Otherwise, nobody would use it. So there you go. You can align these things. Yep. And we're done. So what's next now is to write program that when we click add, it's going to give us the sum of whatever is in this box with whatever is in this box. All right. One thing though, when we have that sum, we have an option of displaying it with a message box or putting the sum on a label. So I'm going to explore the two options so that you can see. Now I'm going to also collapse this form like this so that it looks compact. There you go. Perfect. Then the form is still same for one, so I'm gonna like to change the text property of the form to other app. All right, and we're ready to go. So I'm gonna go to this event of clicking this add. So when you click add, what should happen? All right, that's the event. So first, I can assume the two numbers will be integers, so I can say int first equals whatever is in that text box. However, we have to convert that into integer. Int.parse txt first.text. All right. So we are saying look for this control called txt first. Whatever text is inside, take it. All right. However, pass it to an integer and store it in this value called in variable called text. The second follows the same thing, second number. Someone else can say number 1, number 2, but I'm saying first, second. Int.parse txt second.text. All right. Don't forget C# is case sensitive, so if I say small letter t is going to give me an error. All right. Then the sum would be obviously first plus second. And then where do I display my sum? I said we could use a message box for now. Message box.show. Then I'll put sum.toString. All right, just so that we convert it to string and we are sure, because a message box displays strings. All right, the app is complete. Run. Wait for it. Perfect. Our app is up and running. This is our app here. So I'm going to put 5 and I'm going to put 6. I'm expecting 11. So you can see it comes out as 11. All right. However, this is not like complete solution right now, because what if the user wants 5.8? Don't forget we've converted it to integers, so it's going to be a problem. All right. So input string, all of those things happening there. So you might want to generalize this code to have it as double.parse, so you can have two doubles being added together. You remember that from Python from earlier on in the semester? So please, by all means, play around with that. The only thing I'm going to show you now is how to display the answer on the actual form itself. So assuming that I have another label here, and the label is called label 2, I'm going to change the label name to LBL answer. So instead of displaying a dialog, I want to display the answer here. All right. So at first, I want the label to be empty, but it's right there. Sometimes it's not visible, but you know it's right there. So when we go to the code now, instead of displaying in the message box, I'd rather display on that label. LBL answer.text should be equal to whatever sum we calculated, sum.string. All right. However, it's not going to look nice. I would rather say something like answer equals, because now that label is just going to contain 11, 12. So I can put a prompt here, of course, concatenation. Answer is equal to, then whatever sum is, to string. All right. So, run. Perfect. We're up and running. We put 6 here, we put 78 here, answer equals 84. The app is done. Guys, play around with data types, extend this app so that it can undo decimal points, all right, as practice, and see you in the next video. Boom.